everybody, welcome to the Figures and Flippy Shit Wrestling Podcast. We're going to do things a little differently today. We're going to talk about wrestling, but we're also going to talk about the Jericho Cruise that we just came back from recently.
Well, originally, we were going to just dedicate this video to the Jericho Cruise, and then WWE went and did something colossally stupid that I cannot ignore.
Well, we'll let Chris
So we're going to talk about that now. First of all, you have built Cody into the biggest guy in your company in who knows how long. And Rock shows up and he's like, no, we're doing this. And you don't back Cody? Fuck you, WWE.
Well, and some backstory, though, for those... Do you want to give backstory for those that don't really know what's going on?
Okay,
maybe?
So basically Cody wins the Rumble. We watched the Rumble on the cruise. Boo in the comments if you were on the cruise and hate us for watching the Royal
I really
Rumble,
didn't watch. I really didn't watch it that
Rumble.
much. So I don't boo me at least.
Yeah. Now let's preface this by saying when the Rumble ended, I was extremely happy because if you've been watching our show, I've been pulling for Bayley to win the Rumble for like a month, and she did. Great job, Bayley. And Bayley, I found out last night on SmackDown. We didn't watch wrestling this week because it was hard to catch up, but I caught snippets here and there. Bayley chose Io, so we did something right.
Oh yay! Okay,
yes,
okay.
Which, good.
But let's get to what you're mad about, though.
Cody won the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Okay. At the Rumble, Cody gets on the turnbuckle, points at Roman, screaming. They cut to Roman, who is seething, and Paul Heyman's like clutching the title like he does. You know, we're setting this up. Cody goes to the press conference. Well, yeah, it makes sense. I'm facing Roman Reigns. That's what the story's built to. Cool. So we are all good to go until last night. And because of what happened with Vince, which is an entire other story by itself, and there's plenty of videos on the internet recapping that, so I'm not even going to attempt that. But just an obligatory fuck you, Vince McMahon, for that, plus whatever waves have come, or will come based off of it. You know, I hope he gets his just desserts and rots in fucking prison like he should. But, as a distraction from Vince, Rock's like, yeah, we're going to do Rock Roman this year. Cody, you take a back seat. So now apparently on SmackDown last night, if I'm understanding the segment correctly, Cody went out, Rock showed up, Cody was like, here, Rock, you take him, and went away. Like, why would you assassinate Cody Rhodes' character like that? He's been all about finishing his story. We've made fun of it. Everybody's made fun of it. Cody himself has made fun of it. And at the last minute, The Rock shows up, who's fucking 51 years old, and he's going to face the fucking world champion who, honestly, at this point, should have lost his title last year. I was all on board of him keeping it and letting Cody go another year. No, if you were going to do this shit, Cody should have just won it last year. Roman and Rock should be non-title because Rock should be nowhere near a title because he's 51 years old and he can't fucking do it anymore.
You said that so quickly.
I did.
You just talked faster and faster as you went.
Pissed. Like, I know I'm a Cody guy.
He woke up. He literally came downstairs angry because that must have been the first thing you saw this morning.
It was.
So he's been in a bad mood
I saw the thumbnail of Roman and Cody, and I was like, no, or Roman and Rock, and I was like, no, they didn't. And second of all, you dragged Cody to SmackDown to have him do this live. Why? I hope somebody gave a napkin to Cody to wipe the egg off his face. Like, this is horrible. Like, this is the shit.
It's terrible.
This is the shit that was going on that made a lot of us tune out. He did the exact same thing to CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. And I know you're not a CM Punk person, but it's fucked up.
It is, yes.
You can understand why Punk would be bitter.
I get it, yeah, I do.
This is fucked up. WWE, this is fucked up. And Dwayne, fuck you for sticking your big egotistical nose in this fucking thing. Like, you're on the board of directors. Get the fuck out of here. Go make another movie that's going to bomb at the box office. But stay out of Cody's story. This is bullshit. Fuck you, WWE.
Well, we got a lot of that anger out. Let's go to more fun things.
We did.
Now.
We
Are
did.
you good now? You got it out of your system.
I'm good.
You're good. We're to move on to more fun
I'm
things.
still royally pissed. Like, there better be... You better do something to make this up to Cody. Like, if Cody's not getting this match at Mania, I'm sorry. I'm a Rollins guy. I'm sorry, Rollins is the consolation prize.
He is.
He is. And that's not fair to Rollins.
Because he's too good. He's a better wrestler than Roman. So
it's not fair to Rollins that he's being looked at as the consolation prize. Rollins is a damn good wrestler, and Rollins is just as worthy as anybody to beat Roman Reigns as well.
Yeah.
And it sucks for Rollins. Rollins has put all this work in a title. And I understand CM Punk got injured, and Vince couldn't control himself. And apparently that's how we got here.
Vince couldn't control... Oh, Vince
because
McMahon.
It's a distraction for Vince.
Gotcha.
But no, this is real fucking simple. If you got to do Rock and Roman, make it a triple threat so Cody can take the title.
Yeah.
And then you can finish it at SummerSlam or whatever and have Roman and Cody go one-on-one where Roman tries to get his title back at SummerSlam. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then you do Rollins and McIntyre and you crown McIntyre. Because he could be your king shit heel for the next 6 months with that world title while Seth goes away to heel. This is not fucking difficult.
Yes.
Give Drew the world title. Cody beats Roman. Rock can be there to help antagonize Roman. Hell, Rock can equalize Solo and Jimmy or something. Mm-hmm. He can make the big command that says, you go to the back. And when they listen, Roman's like, what the fuck? And then Roman eats a crossroads and we're done and we go home. We could do that. It's that simple. Yeah. But if you keep Cody out of it and you push Cody versus Rollins one-on-one in Philadelphia, a wrestling town that cares about work rate, they're going to shit all over Rock Roman and they're going to shit all over Cody Rollins, and you're going to have a really shitty time at WrestleMania. And it's going to erase all the goodwill that you built with Cody all year and the goodwill that you built by having Bayley challenge Io, because guess what? It made fucking sense. I'm done.
Okay.
I want to talk about the
We'll go on to fun things now.
Yes.
So where should we start with the Jericho Cruise? I guess the first night. So I guess we can kind of break it down by day and then do whole. So basically on the Jericho Cruise, it is the best vacation I think you will ever take. Especially, it's so fun.
I put it on Facebook. It is the greatest vacation you could take. When you find people on the cruise that you make your people, it makes it even better.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because as we are sailing away from the port of Miami, you have Fozzy playing this rock concert, which is cool because you just see like everything as we're going by as the concert's going.
This year it took a little bit to pull out of port.
Yeah.
Like for some reason we were in port for a while.
Yeah.
While we were there. Even Jericho at one point was like, I'll play in port, I don't give a fuck. Like,
yes. But it's fun. There's wrestling typically twice a day. There's rock concerts throughout the whole day. There's fun little things. Like we watched this really fun thing with RJ City. It was the ad lib.
It was kind of like a Who's Line with wrestlers.
Yes, and so in it we had Taya Valkyrie. Valkyrie. I get them confused. Johnny.
Johnny Cruise.
I was gonna say Johnny T. I was like, what should he go by? Yes. There was Santino. There was Prince Nana. There was Harley Cameron. Colt Cabana.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, because Colt Cabana was winning up until the very end.
Yeah, so it was very fun. Like that was hilarious. You have the meet and greets. The meet and greets are free. The only thing that costs extra to visit is like the
like if you want to do something with Paul White.
Like the main headliner legend of the night. Or of the thing. And Jericho's not free to meet. Although he was for us this year because we ordered stuff in the pre-sale, so we were the first 400.
But it was a little weird because a couple people that we hung out with on the cruise, they booked before us, and they didn't get the Jericho photo or the Jericho Q&A that came with us. That was kind of strange. A lot of people were blaming Sixth Man for that.
Yeah, but Sixth Man...
It seemed to happen to the people that booked on the cruise, like when they ran that credit deal.
But don't be put off by that though, because I've had to call Sixth Man and deal with them about stuff, and they have like amazing customer support. They fix issues. The couple we were with, they just didn't really mind, honestly. Yeah, they didn't really care. They're like, whatever, we'll just watch the rock shows or something. But rock concerts, but it's fun. You get some pretty cool matches. Is there anything else that you want to add in here?
But what I could say is if you've never taken the cruise before, usually by the end of the first night, you've found who you're going to spend your cruise with.
Yes, it's really easy.
And it's
just
easy.
go sit somewhere where there's empty seats.
Yeah, like so many friendships.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, so many friendships on the cruise are started by the sentence, "Hey, is a seat taken?"
That's literally, we had 3 people that we hung, that was like our group. We literally met them the first night, and it just kind of happened. Like, sometimes people will,
we hadn't
like,
even left port yet when we met them. And another thing that I can say is when you get the drink package, pace yourself. Be aware of where you're at, because I went a little hard the first night, and I was passed out in the stateroom at 9:30 like a weenie.
Yeah.
But I woke up at midnight ready to go, and you were like, it's fucking midnight. Like,
yeah. You get to meet wrestlers. Of course, you have to do it in a way, treat them like people. So don't go up to them when they're eating. If they look busy, don't bug them.
Yeah.
You'll get your chance to meet them, I'm sure, at some point, most likely.
yeah.
I know one person that I didn't get to meet that I wanted to was Abaddon. I mean, I saw her on the ship, but it was while we were eating, and you just don't bug the wrestlers while they're eating. That's their time. Just treat them like people, honestly.
That's the main crux of it
Yes,
right there.
but it is a very fun time.
Yeah, and you could do photo ops, you can do autograph sessions. There's a lot more in the autograph sessions than there were on the photo ops, because the photo ops are usually in groups of 4.
Yeah.
And the autograph session was laid out more like a convention.
Yeah.
Make sure you have something that they autograph. They do.
But you can just take like lanyards.
Yeah,
and
they do have posters that you could buy in the merch store, but they sell out quick. So you can have them sign your lanyard. With us, we did one autograph session, because you can go down and you can pick whoever you want. We only had one thing, and it was the one person that you went after.
RJ City.
And that was RJ City. So whenever...
And he was amazing to talk to.
Yeah. And a lot of the wrestlers, you're not supposed to take pictures when you do autographs, but some of them make exceptions. Like RJ City was taking pictures with people. We didn't get a picture with him because he talked to us for like 5 minutes, and it kind of felt like, while he encouraged it, we kind of felt like we were holding it up for the people behind us.
Right, because like he was one that kept the conversation going, though. Like he just kept, but we found something to relate to him about that wasn't wrestling.
Yeah.
So we literally were talking about Don Knotts.
Yeah.
So like he, like, whenever, because I even made the comment to RJ say, I was like, oh man, like, I'm so sorry we're taking so long. He was like, whatever, and then he kept the conversation going more. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
I love RJ City.
Yeah. And they gave us trading cards as one of the gifts that you get when you go back to the room. We got a water bottle, a tin lunchbox, and trading cards and a micro brawler.
And we got 2 because there's 2 of us in the cabin.
And one of the trading card packs had RJ City in it, so we had him sign his card.
Yes. Yeah.
Which he was more than happy to do, and actually couldn't believe that he had a trading card.
He's like, this is me? Are you sure?
But no, it was just a really good time. The lines, like, it's kind of like a theme park. When you do these things, expect to be in line for a little bit.
But once the line starts going, they typically go quickly.
I felt like this year they did it better than they did last year.
Yeah.
Because they would pull you in this room for the photo ops, and you get a ticket with whatever color person you want to meet, and you can go back through and do it as many times as long as they stick around, you can do it as many as you want.
Like, we weren't able to see, like, Lance Archer because he left before we were able to get through the lines.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. But anyway, they have you congregate in this room. And in the room, they have, like, drinks and hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
I think this year they had chicken and waffles.
Pigs in a blanket one time.
Pigs in a blanket, cheese balls, and chicken fingers.
Mm-hmm. And they give out... It's
yeah,
right
and
by
it's
a
all
bar,
yeah,
so...
and it's all complimentary. You can order a drink from the bar.
That's not complimentary.
If you have drink packages.
Well, yeah.
And then they'll call you whenever your ticket color is available.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the beginning, it takes a little bit. Like when we went to meet, I think we waited longer to meet Penta than Swerve.
Because the two that we had to wait to meet were Penta
and Swerve.
But then we also had to wait to meet Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Because Sky Blue had a very long line of people to meet her.
Yeah, Sky Blue's line was just as long as Swerve's, which was really cool for her.
Yeah, so everybody was like, good for Sky Blue.
But you could tell, like, she's not used to meeting that many people at once, because when we got to her, she was just like, whew.
But she was very nice, though.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't rude. I think she's just very shy, though.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's
she's
probably
very
true.
friendly.
Yeah. You could kind of gather that from her Hey EW episode with RJ City.
Yes.
She's kind of
Well,
shy.
she's young and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the guns were a party, of course.
Oh, the guns were a party everywhere they went.
The guns line were so long that they literally had to be like, okay, guys, we only have 20 minutes left. Like, that's it. So there might have been some people that weren't even able to, or maybe they just weren't putting more people in the line, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it was a party. They were whooping and hollering.
Yeah,
and
but with the guns, like, on the ship, they're easy to find. Just follow the noise.
Yes.
And I saw them, they're so cool about taking pictures of people. Like, we met Austin last year, and he was really cool.
I feel like Austin's the more approachable one, but I don't think it's that Colton's mean or anything. I think it's just Austin's more comfortable with people.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because Colton was like the quieter one of the group, and Austin was always just making noise.
Yeah. We sat next to them at Senor Frogs in Cozumel, and that was the party table.
Yeah, so I guess we could talk about the excursion. So there is an excursion. So it's a 4-night cruise. There's one excursion, or there's not one excursion. One stop. This year we ported at Cozumel, Mexico. We were able to get off the boat.
Yeah, unlike last year.
Where we went to the Bahamas. I don't remember where it was in the Bahamas, but
Great Stirrup Cay.
Great Stirrup Cay. Okay. Yeah. There is another Jericho Cruise already planned for next year. It's 6 on the beach because it's the 6th one. And they're going to Mexico also.
Costa Maya.
Gosh. But I recommend on the Jericho Cruise to actually get off the boat. I know some people don't. I recommend it because we got to see a lot of really cool things in Cozumel, which we'll have included in the picture, some of the pretty things from Cozumel. But if you ever go to Cozumel, I highly recommend Senor Frogs. But don't fall for a lot because they're all about tipping in Mexico because they don't.
The way that somebody worded it to me, and is a very good way to word it. Senor Frogs is very good at separating you from your money. Because there's a woman that goes around making balloon hats.
Yes.
She needs a tip. There's a dude that'll come over and take your picture. We weren't originally going to buy the picture, but the picture turned out so well, and the frame that it came in was so cool. We went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can do these things.
There's shots. There's a girl going around with shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the shots, like now.
Shots was a little too much for me.
If you're somebody that likes a quiet meal, don't do Senor Frogs.
No, it's a party vibe there.
It's a party hut, essentially.
Yes.
There's
many other restaurants around.
We talked to a couple other people that were on the boat with us that they did Margaritaville, and they said it was a lot more chill vibe.
But there's other places though around if you're wanting more of that like Mexican food style.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's places in like downtown Cozumel.
Yes.
If you take the trolley tour or take a taxi yourself, if you take the trolley tour, you're timed. The people that we were with on the trolley tour ordered their breakfast, and their breakfast hadn't even come by the time they had to get back on the trolley.
Yeah.
So if you're going to eat in downtown Cozumel, it seems like the best thing to do is take the taxi.
And keep in mind, too, that Cozumel is a pretty safe place because they don't want tourists to have a bad experience, or they want people to come back by like word of mouth and stuff. So it's safe there.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that in Cozumel.
Yeah. And we've already talked about making a return trip to just Cozumel because they have 5-star resorts that are actually pretty cheap in comparison to like a 5-star resort in America.
Yeah.
So we've already looked at the possibility of returning to Cozumel by itself.
One thing to keep in mind though, even if you don't do the Jericho Cruise to like a Cozumel type place, Cozumel lives on tips. So they will literally, I don't want to say hound you, but they kind of do hound you. Like the store owners kind of hound you to go into their stores because they need us.
They need to keep making money so the Mexican government will continue to protect it.
So they do kind of keep hounding to go into stores, but just like no, thank you. We were never forced to go into a store. We were just like, no. It did get overwhelming because there were like 6 people at one time, like
especially when you're just trying to find a bathroom.
But it was nice. It gets very humid in Cozumel. Because the temperature was 83, but with the humidity, it felt like 95 when we were there.
It was the hottest day on the cruise.
So it was hot, but going out just exploring is amazing. That's fun. And then you get to go back on the boat too. So
Yeah.
it's just a fun experience.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't want to travel a long time, it's only four nights. Or 3 nights. 3 nights?
4.
4 nights.
Four
so,
nights,
oh
yeah.
yeah. So it's not a super long cruise. It's a good time. Yeah.
And you can have fun without drinking. I think it enhances it if you drink. But you can have fun without drinking too.
Yeah, because everybody's very friendly. And,
yeah, everybody's there to just have a cool time. You know, it's
and
easy
they
to
kind of
connect
look
with
out
people.
for each other because there was one time I wasn't drunk, but I was stumbling because the boat was rocky, and there were people that just kept like, they're being like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need something? Are you okay?" So like, they do kind of look out for one another. Nobody's really like, everybody just kind of looks out for each other.
Yeah.
So it's a good family vibe. It's, I mean, granted, it's like a drunk family vibe, but it's a fun vibe.
Yeah, but you look at people's pictures and stuff, and there's always like people in groups of 5 or 6.
Yes.
Like you find group.
people, and
that's like us last year. We had a really fun couple that we hung out with last year, and we were like, man, what are we going to do? We don't have them to hang out with this year, and that was only a problem for about an hour.
Yes, not that the first couple could be replaced.
No,
But we found our people really early on, and we just literally always ended up coming back together at some point during the day.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, we were usually together.
Yeah.
So, and then last night we kind of all hung out. Well,
we all hung out, and then we kind of splintered off and came back together.
But we got our little family group picture at the end, so it was fun. But it's just a very fun experience. If you like wrestling and you're not tribal about wrestling, you'll love it. You can't really be a tribal wrestling fan and go onto this cruise because it's not how it works, because they literally talk about WWE. They like it, and it's not like a putting down thing. People love wrestling.
Yeah.
Jericho will mention WWE not in like a dogging thing, but just telling stories and just knowing that people love wrestling. Yeah. So it's
like
kind of brings like Impact was talked about. Like it was like everybody all just kind of comes together.
Yeah. Bully Ray gave a speech on the last night of the cruise. No, it wasn't the last night. Or was it the last night? It was whenever Don Callis got his thing from Dave LaGreca.
I think it was I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But anyway, Bully Ray gave a speech. In the speech, he even mentioned, he was like, WWE is thriving. You know, AEW, I think he said, is continuing to entertain their fan base. Knowledge.
You shouted it for the world to hear many times.
Very drunkenly, but yeah.
Yes.
I got my way on that one. We're not going to go back to that. But there will be at least one cabin open because we've decided next year we're taking a break.
It kills us. It was so... It was... There's actually quite a few people on the cruise this year that were like, we love this, but we've got to take a break and maybe come back the next year because it is expensive. You can do payments. I would say total at the end of including at the end, so like everything we spent on the ship, I would say we probably put $4,000 into this cruise at the end of it, including like everything, like even like the ship.
Does that include our Miami day too? Yeah. Oh yeah, it ports out of Miami. Last year we didn't make a day for Miami. This year we did. Make a day for Miami. It's a really cool city.
Yeah.
There's a double-decker bus tour that we did that was had 10 stops. It was a get off, get on whenever you want. They had earbuds that they were free, and you weren't sharing earbuds that people would have. They give you your fresh package when you get on.
Yes.
But it tells you about what you're seeing, and it hits up like South Beach. Little Havana, which you love.
Little Havana was my favorite area in Miami.
Yeah, Bayside Marketplace. All you have to do from your hotel is just Uber to the spot that you want to start at, and you can get online and look at the schedule.
I would recommend starting at Bayside.
I would agree.
Bayside Marketplace.
I would agree.
That'd be my recommendation because it's kind of like it's not really a circle, but it's kind of a circle how it loops around, and that's like the first stop.
Yeah.
So I would say that, but you can jump on it any place. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but we highly recommend the double-decker bus. It comes around every 30 minutes, so it's super easy. And I think it runs. I think it runs from like 9 a.m. to what, 5:30.
I think 6 p.m. in some places. So like the later places, like the further you go down the line of the places, I think it runs later because they have to get there. So
yeah. But yeah, so definitely give a day to Miami because it's a really cool city. With a lot of
I recommend Little Havana for sure.
Yeah,
that was my favorite area.
The food in Little Havana is fantastic.
And the culture itself, the environment was just very friendly and relaxed in a way, but very fun. And yeah.
Now that being said, Miami, you're gonna have to listen when people talk to you because I don't think English is the first language in Miami. At least it doesn't seem like it is.
Well, I mean, not every place in America.
I know, but what I'm saying is like it's really strong down there. It's a really strong Hispanic vibe.
Yeah.
I think every Uber driver that we had either spoke very little English or spoke almost none.
Yeah, but like the drivers that we had for like Uber and Lyft and stuff, like the drivers have a way of communicating through like facial expressions or like they've kind of like learned like phrases or something because English is not the easiest language to learn.
No, it's not. It's one of the hardest.
But so don't be shy, like don't be nervous about that.
No, no, they're all super friendly and and they'll get you where you're going. And one thing I learned about Miami is I cannot drive in Miami. I would get honked at all day.
Yeah.
Driving in Miami is not for me.
No.
And I love driving big cities, but no, I'll Uber through Miami or double decker bus it.
Yeah.
But yeah, give a day to Miami as well.
I mean, I guess overall this video was very clustery and very all over the place, but I guess what we're trying to say is if you ever have the chance and opportunity to do the Jericho Cruise and you like wrestling, you're not a D-bag about it.
I would say do it at least once if you're able to.
At least once. I know some people are scared because the boat aspect. It's worth it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that like to crap on it because it's Jericho. And it seems to be the thing to do is crap on Jericho. Like, even if you're not a Jericho person, you can take the Jericho out of the Jericho Cruise pretty quickly.
Yeah, because you don't really see him that much.
No, You can, if you want, you can skip the Fozzy shows.
He only wrestles the very last night and he's like the main event. And that's because it's usually with... Like, this year he teamed up with Big Show. Last year he teamed up with Danhausen. So, like, he only wrestles once.
Yeah.
So, if you don't like him, you don't have to really do anything with him.
No, and there's other bands on the cruise. Like
there's a lot of other bands.
We didn't do much with the bands last year. We didn't really do much with the bands this year.
But more this year because our group wanted to do the bands.
Yeah, but there's a band on there called Guardians of the Jukebox. They do 80s covers. They're a shit ton of fun.
They are fun.
They're fun. Definitely. We were told before we checked them out that they are a cruise must. And I would agree. You have to do at least one night of Guardians of the Jukebox.
Now, they don't start until midnight.
Yeah, they play late.
They play very late. But it's literally just like a fun party vibe to end the night.
Yeah.
For you. Some people stay up all night drinking.
Yeah, you literally get up for...
Don't be surprised if you do a cruise for the Jericho Cruise for the first time and you get up at like 7 a.m. and you still see wasted people walking around. That's normal. They just drink all night.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't been to bed yet.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun.
It is. And if you have the means to do it and you like wrestling, like you said, you're not tribal about it or anything, and you like to make friends, you got to try it at least once.
Yeah.
You may do it, and you may think at the end of the day, I talked to several people that had a good time, but they thought it was overpriced.
There's a lot of people now whose are saying that it's overpriced for the talent. I feel like it's 1,000% worth it still.
Yeah, if you take into account the cruise factor itself, the tickets that you would have to buy to go to the shows, because usually the wrestling is about 2 hours, so you're looking at a show's worth of wrestling.
They're like, the first one's about an hour, and the second one's a little over 2 hours.
Yeah. The cost of the meet and greets and the autographs. If you've ever gone to a convention that does meet and greets and autographs, those add up quickly.
Yeah.
Those add up quickly. We haven't been to Toy Ohio for a while, but there was one point that we went and we spent
$400.
Yeah, on meet and greets.
Yeah.
So it gets expensive. The rock shows that you go to, those would cost tickets anywhere you went.
Yeah.
So I mean it is expensive.
They have the Vaudettes. We didn't even talk about the Vaudettes.
Yeah, the Vaudettes was
The Vaudettes is just, they are so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, they did this where they were teaching people one of their dance moves, like one of their dances, and it was so fun to watch.
I have video of Brad Williams, the stand-up comedian, doing it.
We'll try to put that in here.
Yeah. There's comedy as well. You would pay money to go to these comedy shows.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, it's expensive, but if you break down everything that you get, it would start to add up individually. And the merch that they drop off in your room.
That's true.
That would cost money.
You get a lot of stuff just given to you.
Yeah. Like they have a merch store. You can bring home a souvenir from the cruise and not step foot in the merch store.
I guess just overall, if you're a wrestling fan, this is kind of a must, I would say. It's like fun. I said,
even if you're not a Jericho person, it's so easy to take the Jericho out of the Jericho
It
Cruise.
is. Now, you will have to be somebody that is able to, like, get on a boat, because I will say, we've done the cruise twice. I've gotten sick one night twice, or both times, but I just did my little gin.
Yeah, Gin candies. They're not sponsoring this video, but if you have a motion sickness problem, get Gin candies.
I literally, like, sucked on one of those, and then, like, 5 seconds later, I was like, oh my gosh, my motion sickness is completely gone. So that's what really helped me. It was just these ginger candies, and it wasn't like the hard candies. It was like a fruit by the foot type texture. You know what I mean? Like a gummy-ish texture. So that's what really helped me. But there is that, and it's just so, I don't know. Basically, absolutely worth it. It will, if you're more shy like I am, it might be a little overwhelming at some points. Like, there was some time, like the Guardians of the Jukebox, we actually had to leave it early because it's very overwhelming. Because it's a fun environment, don't get me wrong. I definitely recommend going to watch it, but maybe try to get there earlier, because we were down, like, in the pit area where, like, everybody was, like, jumping and dancing and having, I mean, we were down there with Jericho, honestly. Like, that's where Jericho was.
He was, like, 3 people away from us.
But if I had to choose again, I would much rather be sitting up, like,
up where the guns were, up in
like the balcony type areas, looking down, because it's just so, it got very overwhelming for me.
Yeah. And you weren't the only one. There was one of the people we were with. It got overwhelming for her, and they had to leave early.
Yes.
So, I mean,
but
I don't think it helped where we were, because we were also all the way at the end with no exit except through people.
Oh yeah, to get through, to get out, I literally felt like I mean, everybody was nice. I was like, I'm so sorry, as we were trying to go out, and everybody's like, you're fine, because at that point everybody's drunk. It was
like literally, I'm going by and people are patting me on the back and they're like, have a good night, man. Like,
yeah. Oh, and there are staples for people dressing up. You will get Cruise Flair, dressed Ric Flair, and you will get Cruise Jesus, who dresses up as Jesus.
Somebody tried to start a Cruise Pope. There's the Cruise Banana Boys.
The banana. I didn't see the Banana Boys this time.
They were always down by the ramp. They're the one that were building the weapons.
Oh, okay. But so they're kind of like staples. I feel like at this point they're always at everyone, but it's nice to get pictures with them too. Like, you got a picture with Cruise Jesus.
Yeah, Cruise Jesus is the nicest guy in the world.
It's just it's a very cool experience. Definitely try it out. We actually met somebody who I'm convinced he was telling the truth, who worked with WWE. He did the pyro. And he was talking about how he only takes off one time a year, and WWE gets pissed about it, but it's to take off 4 days to do the Jericho Cruise.
Yeah.
And he was wasted, so there's no way you could be that wasted and keep that story straight. There's no way.
Yeah, you could.
Because we literally talked to this man for 5 seconds. And then by the time we were leaving, he was like, all right, love you guys, bye. So, like, this dude was wasted.
Yeah.
So I believe him. It's just really cool who you meet. And
yeah,
it's really nice. It's a really awesome experience.
Yeah, and they said there was somebody that represented every state except Wyoming.
So there was an F Wyoming chant started.
Yeah.
So it's just a really fun time. I really recommend you guys checking it out. It's so fun that I'm having a really hard time breaking down what was fun because it was all just so fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
what's really cool, honestly, is if you need a break from all, because it's a very loud experience for the most part, especially with the music. If you need a break from it, you can usually, in your stateroom, it's quiet.
It is. Now, we had a balcony, so if we stepped outside on the balcony, I could hear the party. But I went to our balcony a lot and just chilled by myself when I needed time to just, like, decompress. And then I'd be good to go.
Yeah.
So, it's... Because the boat's not a really large... It's a smaller boat.
Yeah.
So...
It's not like pontoon. It's still a full-size cruise ship. It's just a small one. Like, when you see it in the dock with, like, the celebrity cruise boats and the Royal Caribbean cruise boats, it looks miniature.
It does. It's just a small cruise ship.
Yeah.
So, but there's about 2,000 people that go on this. It's just a really, really fun time. Definitely check it out.
Yes.
Get a little bit out of your comfort zone if you like wrestling. It will be worth it.
Yeah. And if it's not worth it, you just don't do it next year.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Anything else you want to talk about though with the cruise?
No, I'm good. And that helped me get over my rage from earlier. But we will be back next week with a regular episode. We're going to catch back up with wrestling. As much as I'm pissed at WWE, we will continue to catch up with it. So we'll catch you guys next Sunday on YouTube. Find us on socials, on Facebook at Figures and Flippy S. Also on Instagram, which I don't know if we've put much on Instagram. Well, when you post on Facebook, post on Instagram, I think.
Also, Figures and Flippy S on Instagram.
Thank you. But yeah, leave a comment. If you have questions about the cruise, leave them in the comments. Be happy to reach out and answer those for you. The pictures hopefully have been running through the video. Hopefully AJ was able to edit those in. So you're welcome to comment on those as well. Anything that you think we should go back and watch from the week that we've been gone, wrestling-wise, we can go back and look at as well. So just keep the conversation going. Give us a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel, helps us continue to bring you videos. And until next week, we will see you all later.
Later.